To the victim of narcissistic abuse. Uh, Today's video, I'm just reminding you that it's not your fault. Um, the problem is when you date a narcissistic individual is they probably have wounds from childhood that they never dealt with, that made loving you almost impossible. And it wasn't just you, it would have been anybody. You could have literally been Jesus Christ and they would have still devalued you. That's because, like I said, they have trauma from childhood they never dealt with. Like, I'll give you a quick example. I dealt with a narcissistic ex that could not love me. The reason why she couldn't love me is because she was severely traumatized as a child. Her father apparently wasn't there for her, didn't meet her needs as a child, didn't make her feel loved, didn't love her, wasn't there for her emotionally, wasn't there emotionally for her as an adult. And so she grew a hatred towards men. And no matter how good I was to her, no matter how I treated her, it was never good enough. She still devalued me. She still hated me. She still treated me poorly. That's because she had a hidden resentment towards men, a hidden resentment towards her father. She never dealt with that pain and that trauma that she had from her father. And because of that, she took it out on me. She took it out on other boyfriends. It's just like if a child was bitten by a German Shepherd over and over and over and over as a child, they would probably, as an adult, they would probably have a hatred for German Shepherds and avoid German Shepherds. It's no different, like my ex-girlfriend was probably severely traumatized by men in her childhood. Maybe her father was never there for her. Maybe her father wasn't there for her emotionally at all. Not there for her as an adult. Maybe he was abusive as an adult. And so they actually end up hating men. They actually end up literally hating men, so that they just see men as an object. Like, for example, my ex-girlfriend saw me the same way she sees this coffee cup. She sees me as an object. That's why she can just ghost with no regard for my feelings, because she doesn't see me as a human being with feelings. She just sees me the same as she would see that coffee cup. Like I said, I was so good to her. I always did so much for her. I was very loving to her. But no matter what I did, it was never enough. And that's because of, like I said, because of the trauma she had as a child. She never dealt with that childhood trauma. Like, for example, she told me, I talked to her like a month or two ago. She told me her father came to visit her as an adult. He walked in the room and probably wanted to see her and her sister and her mom. And this person told me she didn't even look at her father. She didn't even look at her dad. That's a perfect example, guys. Do you see the hidden resentment? She has a hidden resentment towards the father that she's never dealt with. Why would she not make eye contact with her own father? Because she hates her father. She hates her father for what he did to her as a child. She hates her father for, not being there for her emotionally. And so, she developed a hatred towards men, so that she sees her boyfriends as a coffee cup, the same way she would see a coffee cup. That's how she viewed me. That's why she could, like I said, that's why she could just leave my life with absolutely no regard for my feelings. I mean, she would literally break up with me. One time she broke up with me on Christmas Eve, guys. That's an example of having no empathy. Narcissists have no empathy. But you got to keep in mind that these people are severely damaged on the inside, severely wounded on the inside. In fact, the same woman actually told me that she blames her childhood for how fucked up she is as an adult. She said she actually blames her upbringing, and that's because she was abused as a child. She was emotionally abused as a child. And that grew into a hatred towards men, a literal hatred towards men, a mistrust of men. So then all she did was just push men away constantly, push men away, push men away, push men away. So that's why I couldn't win with this person, because anytime I would emotionally get close to her, she would push me away. So the whole point of this video, guys, is if you're the victim of narcissistic abuse, which a lot of it is emotional abuse, like ghosting, devaluation, I want you to know it's not your fault. More than likely, you're dealing with someone that's been traumatized in their life, and that's why they treat you like shit, because they were sexually abused as a child, physically abused as a child, emotionally neglected as a child. You're probably actually a wonderful person like me. I consider myself a pretty good person for the most part. Am I perfect? No, I'm not. But I treated my partner like fucking gold. I treated her like gold. I would have given her anything. I would have fucking literally driven to the ends of the earth to love this woman. You know, I just was always there for her, but no matter what I did, it was never enough, never enough, never enough. And it's because of her trauma. It's because of that hidden resentment towards men, that hidden hatred towards men because of what her father did to her or didn't do to her, the emotional abuse, that she just now sees men as an object, and sees men as an object to be used and then ghosted, because she don't like men anyway. She hates men because of what her father did to her. So that's the point of today's video, guys, is don't take the narcissist behavior personally, because you almost have to forgive them for they know not what they do. Maybe what they're doing, they're not really aware of it. Maybe they're just not aware of it, but either way, they're still doing it, and it's still affecting you. That's why you may have to separate yourself from this relationship, because you can't become suicidal. You can't, be upset every day, because it can make you emotionally devastated. Like, did you guys know that I'm a suicide survivor? I almost took my life. Like 5 years ago, almost took my life over this narcissistic relationship. But I'm glad I didn't, because I can still be there for I can still be there for my family. I can still be there for my friends, for my coworkers. So you matter. It's not you. That's the point of today's video, is it's not you. You're probably actually a really nice person. You probably have a lot of love to give. But the thing you need to understand is a narcissist cannot give love nor accept love. They can't give what they never got themselves. Like, for example, my ex-girlfriend probably never felt loved by her father. So she can't give me love because she never got love herself. Nobody was giving into her, so she can't give back. You can't give what you don't have or never received. So definitely understand it's not you, man. It's not you. If you're feeling suicidal tonight, dial 988, the suicide helpline. You could call crisis. If you like videos like this, you can subscribe, like this video. Until next time, Steve signing out.